Hey there, what's up? So today we are going to be playing Sonic X Shadow Generations, and today we are going to be seeing whether or not this game is actually worth it. We start with Shadow aboard the Ark, because apparently Gun has detected a biosignature aboard it. There is actually a prologue thing for Shadow Generations, which I reviewed in a previous video, so go check that out in the top right corner. And we see Shadow come across this glitching hallway, and this is actually how Shadow Generations starts. You'd think it'd be something to do with the time meter, but no. But anyways, here is my very shortened run since we've already seen the entire first level, and here it is. And then after some time meter shenanigans and Shadow finding a fake Chaos Emerald, we come across Omega, the white space, and also the space colony Ark, along with this biblically accurate angel in the sky, which comes important later in the story. And after this, we figure out that these doom symbols that Shadow gets are actually able to open the eyes on this angel theme. And as you can see, the eye looks pretty weird now that I think about it.
Shadow.
Omega then talks about what happened before this whole white space thing even appeared. Apparently he was hunting down Eggman's greatest super weapon, or latest super weapon, I mean. But then we come across 2 of the space colony Ark. And once again, I just made a super short version of it. I will still point out the key points. Like here, the missiles are used in 2D this time instead of 3D. And I definitely ran into that missile for comedic effect. Trust me.
Just ahead there lies a village compromised by creatures in disguise, wearing skin of men so they blend right in, but I see right through those eyes. In the night they came for their prize to claim, and a week they will succeed. They are masters.
Then we come across this Chaos Control Dash thing, and also this, which was in the original Space Colony Arc. And here is a Chaos Spirit compilation, because why not? It's actually really cool because they open the doors, and then this last one opens multiple doors in a sequence, which is, you know, that's cool. But then this part is exceptional, because there's this smoke that's chasing Shadow around, and then it takes him over. And we've seen this in the trailer. This gives him his wings. On stage 2, he's getting his wings. It's just, it is extremely cool, but it's just a little bit weird with the controls because you have to air boost in order to activate the actual wings, and it's more like a glide than a fly. And I just want to say right now that this part of the song fits the game perfectly. Like, I could not summarize it better.
I am defender of the righteous, I am guardian of the true. I will not stand for deception, and I will not stand for you. If it's in my greater interest, you may summon me to fight. But as soon as I send your ass from your doom, we fuck all night.
And then Shadow monologues to himself about how he's never been able to do that Doom Wing power that he does not know about yet. It felt natural to him, which is unusual. But little does he know, this is actually the cause of Black Doom. He has not seen him yet, and he sees something. Something so shocking, he thought he'd never see it. Turns out, Maria and Gerald Robotnik are alive. And I don't think any of us were expecting this from the game, but it did happen. And then, he remembers how she can't be here, because Maria was gone ever since Shadow went down to Earth. Sent away in a capsule, and Maria was left on the Ark as Shadow drifted down to Earth.
Stay focused. Deal with the problem at hand, not chase dreams.
Then gets whatever this thing is, some kind of gear, and he sees this seal. An eye opens up out of it. It looks like the one on the biblically accurate angel. But then, this whole thing cracks open. This stuff starts surrounding Shadow, and it looks extremely painful. And then, this is actually how he obtains his first Doom power, the Doom Spears, which allow him to strike 5 things at once, meaning that he has control of 1 out of his 5 Doom powers, which may sound insane, but there is actually 5. He then hits this thing to open up a door. And then we play around with the Doom Spears in the open world white space, and it feels good because, you know, in normal generations, Sonic generations, the open world is 2D. I guess that's because classic Sonic's there. I feel like if they had separate white spaces, maybe Sonic's could have been 3D. But then we move on to Rail Canyon. We then jump onto these rails that go back and forth, and you have to hit that magnet thing with a spear, otherwise it will just electrocute you. I used Chaos Control here even though you don't really need to. I just kind of did it to be safe. And then there's all these trains, which I think we're in Bullet Station, but I don't really know. I'm not an expert with the older games, but yeah. Anyways, we keep going with this rail stuff over here, and then we hit another button, which actually changes the rail track. I don't think I've said that yet, but then there's a spring that we have to go on, and it flies you up. for some reason the Doom's Eye returns again, except it makes the rails like really bendy. And then we get transported to Radical Highway again. I'm guessing that the reason it's shown so many times is because Shadow was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2 and so was this level. But other than that, I really can't think of a reason. Actually, you know what? Comment down below what you think it's shown so many times. And then we skate up a building, and then we go into a free-falling section, which works like it normally does, but he turns gravity a bunch of times. And then the Doom Spears come in clutch here because there's these, like, Doom Eye blown. But we hit the Doom's Eye again, we get another Doom symbol, and we go right back into the Rail Canyon. By entering what looks like some kind of tunnel with the rails that there were in actual Rail Canyon that we were just in. We return to white space and get the Doom Blast, and then we fight our first boss, the Bio Lizard. Except Helios is doing this one, Shadow. Yeah, I just bought the deluxe version of the game. But yeah, anyways, the Bio Lizard spawns in. Once again, you know, it looks pretty much the same as it always does, but once again, it still looks epic. And I'm gonna say this right now, the boss felt so much cooler playing as Terios over Shadow, because I mean, he's the original ultimate life. But let's not stall this further. How about we just get on with the boss fight already? Because I think we're all waiting for it. And this first part is kind of weird because if you're not in the correct position according to the Bio Lizard, it'll try to chomp you or slap you with its tail, and then it sends out these energy dome things that roll across the floor. And I mean, it makes sense that it's coming from its mouth because, you know, there's all sorts of energy coming from it. And you basically have to go onto that wire that connects to his head, and then just hit this life support pack thing. Like, you just beat the hell out of it, and then after you do, Bio Lizard screams and it gets frustrated, throws arms, and it slams itself onto the wall. And then these things, like, probably power tubes, like, go into its, like, life pack. And then it decides to do a spirit bomb. I'm kidding. But yeah, it kind of does look like a spirit bomb. Anyways, yeah, you just punch the hell out of this thing and then kick it right back at the Bio Lizard in order to finish it off. And it falls to the floor, and then that's the end of the boss fight. Terios lands on the ground in what looks like a superhero pose. And then we move on to Kingdom Valley, which I didn't show because we don't really have time for that. I don't want to make this video too long, so I just put the Metal Overlord boss. I'm sure there's also some heights that I left out, but yeah. Basically what you have to do is you have to launch these crate things back at the Metal Overlord in order to deal damage, as you can see by the health bar at the top of the screen. And then when you hit, you just hit the hell out of this green thing. It's some kind of, I think it's meant to be the Master Emerald or something, but I really don't know. And then you play a little game of volleyball with that thing. But then you come across this part where the Metal Overlord just sends scraps of like metal down, and Shadow just beats the hell out of every single piece, and it launches right at the Metal Overlord. And then Shadow decides, I'm a Falcon kick the hell out of you, and it finishes off the Metal Overlord, leading us back into white space, where we obtain our next new power. And this time, it is the Doom Groove. And for those of you who are wondering, what does that do? Well, basically, it allows you to swim in this, like, purple goop stuff. And you're also able to swing from, like, those things. I don't even know what to call them. They're just kind of there. That's also how you transform into it. And then then we go to Chaos Island, and the only reason I wasn't screaming at the top of my lungs in anger from this is because I'm playing as Terios, meaning it actually feels good. Because, well, you know, like I said, he's the original version of Shadow. And it does actually fit pretty well to Terios. The only thing is that, like, it just feels like it would happen at the same time as Frontiers, meaning that they should have met, but they didn't. That's an opportunity they missed out on because they met earlier on in the story, or actually, no, they didn't. They meet here, I think. But what did we learn from playing Shadow Generations? I think that this game, it works well, and, you know, it's fun. It's a bit rough around the edges, but no Sonic game is perfect. Almost no Sonic game is perfect. But yet this game is literally just Frontiers. So if, like, just install a Shadow mod and play Frontiers instead. Everything is better in Frontiers than, ugh. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell so you never miss out on awesome content like the part 2 to this video where I showcase the rest of the game. And anyways, see you all next time.